Good afternoon. I'm Midkiff. Thank you to the Liberty Coalition for giving us a chance to speak here. I really appreciate it. I'm here in Hot Springs, Arkansas. I was raised in Royal. My mom and dad were preachers and missionaries in Central America. I attended Lake Hamilton School. People say, what year did you graduate? Never did graduate. I went and joined the Navy. I never dropped out of high school because I never dropped in high school. My parents were missionaries, and that's what we did. So I joined the Navy and received my high school diploma there. After that, by the way, I'm married to lovely Kathy DeSantis Midkiff. Between the two of us, we've got 9 kids. If you want to know what causes that, a lot of deployments. But either way, after that, I went and joined the Navy. I spent 13 years active duty. Out of 13, I spent 10 deployed. I've got 8 deployments, 2 combat tours. I served in battle at Adaro, and then I went and joined the Army Reserve, where I've been in for 20 years. I had the opportunity to serve under President Reagan. I held the flag for him at the rededication of the Statue of Liberty. Here recently, I completed 6 tour duties under Operation Cold Steel under President Donald Trump. I loved it, I enjoyed it. I was awarded the Meritorious Service Medal last year from President Trump. I love the military, but it's time to retire. Dr. Sternberg asked me an important question. He said, how do you have time to do all this? And I said, well, I'm retiring. 35 years is enough. Also, my employment. I'm employed as a field training officer with some of the finest men and women in Garden County Sheriff's Department. I love it out there. There's a lot that we do that goes hand in hand with Judge Owen because he's got a lot of great programs out there. I'm not really supposed to plug, judges and stuff, but I have been out campaigning. I went to the Boys and Girls Teen Challenge out by the village, and I said, can I put up a sign? And they said, are you running against Judge Owen? I said, no. And they said, well, good, but no, they wouldn't let me. But I love working as a police officer. It's such a great job. Also, that's my day job, by the way. My night job is I'm a professor at National Park College. I teach criminal justice and political science. That job didn't come easy. I came back off active duty and I went out there and said, I want a job. They said, we're not hiring. I went back 6 months later, I want a job. We're not hiring, sorry. So I told Dr. Argo, this year I said, how about I just work for free? He said, how about we create a position and you are hired? And so I got hired. I love to teach. You have to love to teach to do it. I love being a police officer and teaching, but here in the city of Hot Springs, I've served in the Transportation Advisory Committee. I served 2 terms. I learned a lot. I learned that you got to get out and talk to people, to know what people want. I have been out doing door to door. I met a whole lot of great people. I met some people that didn't like me. They let me know. I met a lot of people that liked me. It's true. He's well known now. I'm also the Junior Vice Commander of the VFW, Post 10483. I was sworn into that about 2 weeks ago. And let me tell you, when you stand there in front of men, we're talking America's greatest generation. We have a guy that's 97 years old. He teaches flag etiquette. This guy served in World War II. So to be standing in front of him as a commander is pretty awesome. Now, the Republican Party has a platform. It's built to 10 principles. Most of y'all, I'm sure you know what they are. The first one is faith and trust in God. I was raised a missionary son, but I always wasn't a great Christian. I'm not going to lie. I was active duty for a while I was raising. But, I accepted the Lord, my Lord and Savior, and try to live by that. The second principle on the Republican platform is the sanctity of life. And that is, I'm against abortion. Anyway, I'm sorry. I know people come and say, they're at odds on that, but I'm not. Also, the Second Amendment. I can tell you on the way here, I stopped at a flea market. My flea market was a little yard sale in front of Fountain Lake School. I didn't need anything, but I wanted to put a campaign sign there. He was never home. And so I asked him, if I could put a sign there, and I agreed to buy some stuff I didn't really need. And he said, okay. But he said, I want to ask you on the Second Amendment. I said, go ahead. He said, well, tell me what you feel. I said, well, it's our amendment. It's right to carry a weapon. I believe the Constitution carry, open carry. He said, but do you feel the same about an AR-15? I said, absolutely. And I almost thought he was going to tell me to take my sign up because he let me know he's a Democrat. And he said, how do I vote this election? I said, well, you won't vote a Democrat. You only need to vote once. You see? Richard Midkiff, just one time, 2%, okay? Not twice, okay? Also, the other two candidates, they're good guys. I'm not gonna lie, they are great, nothing negative to say. But there's a lot of issues out there, okay? Taxes, I'm against extensions, increases, new taxes. We need to get rid of some taxes. The food tax, 0.125%, get it out here. We need to get rid of the used car sales tax. That's ridiculous anyway you look at, okay? $4,000. What kind of car are you going to get for $4,000? Well, you'll be buying another car for $4,000 a year later. But that's what you have to buy if you want to pay taxes. I propose that our senior citizens have done their part. If you're over 65 years old, you shouldn't pay property tax. If you live to be 100, you die, and you leave it to somebody that's 20, they start paying property tax again. Why can't we do that for our citizens, okay? There's a big issue here with taxes, but I don't hear nobody talking about it. We don't. Enough's enough. There are other issues here. People say, what are some of the issues? Crime. I know, I deal with them. I book them in jail, and it's a revolving door out there. And he can only do so much. We've got an issue with crime. And people say, well, what do we have to do? I'll tell you what we have to do. In Mississippi, there are 4 mental health hospitals. Arkansas, we got 1, okay? We need some more. People with drug problems, they don't belong in jail. They belong in drug pre-control. Thanks for all that you're doing because, right now we have 401, and it's crazy. When you get that many people in there, that it becomes unsafe to work, and it becomes an unsafe place for the inmates as well. We need welfare reform. The state of Massachusetts is the only state that did this. They went because the way it works now, I can have 5 EBT cards, 5 different names. I go into Kroger and they can't ask who they are. But the state of Massachusetts said, how about we put your picture on it? It costs $8 per card. And even though it only really applied to 25% of the population, they saved millions. Okay? When it comes to education, I live in the village. My kids go to Fountain Lake. They got a great band program. Our kids, so we do school choice. I'm not an expert in all that, but I can tell you that when it comes to government, the best option is to keep their hands out of it. But I believe in school choice. I believe that parents should have the option where they send their children in the event that their school that they have is a failing one. And then at that point, the government probably should take over the school if it's failing the students' needs and your needs. But there are so many issues. You hear sanctuary cities. Let me tell you something about sanctuary cities. Well, we're going to let people stay here that are illegal. My mother came from Costa Rica. I'm a Latino American. A lot of people don't know it, but you hablo español también, okay? I'm fluent Spanish, okay? She came here as a resident with 25 years. We went to Fort Smith and she held her hand and swore in as a citizen. She did it the right way. So when you have people come over here, however they get here, I don't care if they fly swim, parachute out. If you're doing it illegally, you don't come out here. Come here legal or don't come here at all. My mother did it, so having sanctuary cities is a slap in the face. Gun-free zones, well, we all know that don't work, okay? Because I talk to criminals every day, they could care less. None of them got their guns legally, okay? They're all stolen or sold or whatever. But having said that, for 35 years, I've worn 3 uniforms. And March 3rd, I'd like you to send me a Little Rock to continue serving.
Yeah, you have time.
How do you feel about Arkansas accepting refugees from countries like Iraq and Afghanistan and Africa as well?
On the surface, I thought, well, maybe we're doing the right thing, but then let's take a look at where the money we're taking to support this is coming from. So I don't support it, no. Because, it's not like we're accepting people that can come here and pay their own way and stuff. No, they're taking money from other programs. If you look at all the cuts we've done that affected seniors. I have a son that's autistic, okay? Nonverbal. You cut programs like that to help people that aren't even from here. Let's take care of our own first. I know it's not popular with a lot of people, but I'm sorry. Take care of my mom. So no, sir, the answer would be no.